And it's absolutely, completely incredible that I have found a way to do the thing I love and be home with my kids. Because I love my kids. And I love my family, and I want to be home with them, and they are my priority. But guess what? I'm also my priority because they won't get the best of me if I don't give myself some self-care and love. If I don't do the things that light me up, I cannot give my kids the best version of me, and they deserve the best version of me. And so I'm here to give this to the world, and it lights me up more than I can even say, which is why Seeking Sunshine, Do What Lights You Up is here. And I'm so freaking thrilled to share this. Join me, 'cause I'm seeking sunshine, 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 I'm seeking sunshine. Welcome to Seeking Sunshine, Do What Lights You Up, a podcast for passionate, creative moms who are ready to live their best life and be their full, lit-up selves while being amazing moms, because it's possible to be both. It turns out that you don't have to lose yourself in motherhood, and I'm here to show you how. This is Seeking Sunshine 2.0 because we are no longer focusing on the problems, but on the solutions. It's your turn to shine. Hey guys, Seeking Sunshine 2.0 is finally here, and I'm super duper excited for this rebranding, this relaunch of Seeking Sunshine. Now it's Seeking Sunshine, Do What Lights You Up, and today's episode is going to be the story of how this came to be. I'm so excited for you to hear it. This is the origin story behind this rebrand, what led to this new direction for the show. I'm going to talk about my journey as a podcaster, trying to niche down and grow my podcast, my deep dive into the realization that I didn't want to be an autism mom, and then I'm going to talk about how creativity and passion helped me step into my full power as a passion coach, helping moms to do what lights them up. I'm so jazzed for you to be here and for you to hear this episode because it really paints the whole picture of like how you can figure out where you really belong, because this is how I figured out where I was meant to be. And we're going to have such an amazing journey together as we talk about why, we want to do what we're passionate about and how we can find ways to do that as busy moms, because it can be really, really easy to get sucked into the daily grind and doing all the things that it requires to keep these little humans alive every single day. It's really easy to get sucked into doing chores and doing, all of the daily grind. It's really easy to get stuck in the doing what I have to do every single day. But when I do the things that really just like set my soul on fire, it makes it so much easier to do all the regular stuff that I have to do, right? So that's what I'm wanting to bring to you guys. So I'm excited for you to hear this journey that I went on to get here. And before we dive into that, I wanted to remind you or let you know, if you didn't hear the last episode, that we're now jumping to 2 episodes a week. There's going to be the main episode, which is this one, on Wednesdays, and then there's going to be a mini-sode every Friday. And this week's mini-sode is all about time boundaries, and it's really, really good. I was just listening to it and prepping it for this week, and it's so good. Like, I was really tempted to how do I play that one up more because it really like deserves the spotlight. It's just that good. And you can hear my son in the background, I'm sure. And I could like redo this and try to get him to be quiet. And I had a lot of interviews earlier, so I didn't get this recorded sooner. But here's the thing that I want you to know. It's okay to live your life messy. It's okay to do the things you love as a mom. And it's okay that that your kids are around. It's okay, right? It's okay for me to do my podcast and that occasionally there are some interruptions like VeggieTales playing upstairs in the background. We get to be our full selves, chaos, mess, and all. We get to just show up for life and be here and be present, and it's just going to be amazing and gloriously chaotic and messy. And I want you to know that it's possible. It's possible to do the things you love. It's possible to have a podcast and do this even when you don't have a day full of silence. It's totally possible. So here we go on to the story of how this podcast turned into Seeking Sunshine, Do What Lights You Up. Hey guys, I am so lit up for this new version of the Seeking Sunshine podcast, but it has occurred to me that I need to share the story of how this came about. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to tell you how this transformation happened, because it really has been, it's been a transformation. It's been a journey. There's been so much growth, so much stretching that has happened, and it's been really painful at times, but it has been miraculous and amazing and just really incredible. So I'm going to share with you the journey of how we've gone from Seeking Sunshine, which was all about, finding the positivity in the trials of life, to now Seeking Sunshine, Do What Lights You Up, a podcast for passionate and creative moms to help them do the thing that they are in love with, that makes them so excited for life at the same time that they're being an amazing mom, and to help you know that you can do both and you don't have to give up who you are when you become a mom. Can you tell already that I just love talking about this topic? So we're going to start from the beginning. The beginning of Seeking Sunshine looked like me 2 years ago trying to figure out how do I get seen? How do I share my journey? And I was still in the midst of a lot of trauma, and it was a lot of, just trying to be heard in my pain, if I'm being, really raw and honest here. And as I look back, I'm kind of like realizing that that's not the way to go when you're trying to build a business, is it? And it turned into something beautiful. Like, I don't regret any of Seeking Sunshine. It was so healing for so many people. It had so much joy and beauty in it. And I got to interview so many incredible people, and their stories are going to live on in the Seeking Sunshine podcast. None of it's going away. But what I found was that I had built this entire thing out of my pain. I wanted everyone to know how much I had struggled in my life, how hard my life had been. And I was like, here's a platform. I'm going to, build my own place where I can go and share about the tough things I've been through. And yes, I'm going to transform it into sunshine. And I absolutely believe in that message wholeheartedly. But I was like, I want to make sure that people can, understand what I've been through. And so I was sharing my stories and sharing my journey. And then I reached out to people, and oh my gosh, I was blown away at how many people wanted to be on my show. And I have since come to understand that tons and tons of people are in that same place that I was once in. They want to be heard and they want to be seen for all of the pain that they are in. And it's so important, you guys, that we listen to people, that we hear their stories. It's so important. And so back in January, I put out this call for people to come and share, their story of difficulty with me on my show. And I was just flooded. I actually had to turn off comments on the post in under 24 hours. And I'll be really honest with you, I posted it on New Year's Eve. It wasn't even quite January yet. It was on New Year's Eve while the entire world was out partying. This was the people who were sitting on their phones on New Year's Eve. And looking back, I'm like, oh, what does that say? That I was one of those people who was on their phone on New Year's Eve. And I was attracting all of the people who were also doing that, who were, instead of, enjoying their lives, they were sitting on their phones on New Year's Eve. So anyways, I had an amazing bunch of people turn out who had incredible stories of overcoming. And you've heard these guests. They're incredible human beings. But the way that I framed these stories was to point out the hard things instead of the overcoming. And so the way I was titling these episodes was, I was really framing the pain instead of highlighting the overcoming. And so that's one of the huge transitions that's happening here, is we're not going to shy away from the pain. We're still gonna have these stories, but now we're going to talk about, what did you do about it? We're going to really focus on the passion that helped my guests to overcome, so that we can have really practical knowledge, really how-to steps of, what to do after we go through something hard, because all of us have to deal with hard things. And so that's one of the huge reframes that's coming into this new iteration of Seeking Sunshine, is we're focusing less on the difficult part of the journey and more on so what did you do about it? How did you climb out of the hole? And how did you use that passion and enthusiasm and your gifts and your creativity to find that sunshine, to find joy and life again? So that's what I really want to cling to. So as I have been trying to grow my podcast over the last, almost year, 2 years total, but as I've been trying to grow my podcast, I would talk to people and they would ask me this very important question. And that was, who is your audience? And the problem with Seeking Sunshine as it stood before was that I couldn't really answer that question. And so people would ask me, who is your audience? And I would say, well, everybody who's been through something hard, which is everybody, right? And also then nobody, because if you speak to everybody, you speak to nobody. That's like one of the number one rules of marketing, is no one can hear you if you're blasting out a message. One of the great analogies I've heard is if you go to an airport and you scream out, "Hey, you," nobody will turn and look at you. But if you scream out, "Hey, Martha," you might get one person to turn around, or two even. But you're going to get more people to look at you if you scream out a specific name than you will if you just scream out, "Hey, everybody," or "Hey, you." If you scream out something generic, you're not going to get any response. And I don't know, maybe we'll have to go test that out. Maybe it's a flawed metaphor and we could go to an airport and scream that and everybody would look at you. I don't know. As I think about that metaphor, I'm like, I sort of feel like we could go to an airport right now and that wouldn't work. But anyways, you get the idea. You get the metaphor. And so I was thinking about this, and I'm like, but come on, my audience is overcomers, right? It's people who've been through trauma. And I was just feeling like my show was so heavy, where it was like missing some of the sunshine that I had been going for. And I just felt really bogged down in the trauma. And some of the feedback I was getting was like, I see these episode titles that are focusing on pain, and it's like, I just can't handle any more of this in my life. And I just can't handle more stories of, rape and trauma and cancer and death and suicides. And I just can't take any more negative stuff in my life. It sounds like it's an amazing episode, but I just can't handle it anymore. And as much as I want to be like, no, I actually understand that. Right? And the truth is, the episodes are amazing. And if that is what turned you off those episodes, I'm telling you, go back and listen to them, because they're truly, truly amazing episodes. And maybe I should just go back and retitle them all, so that you know how incredible they are. And I just need to learn how to be better at titling episodes, right? So I was going through this thing of, I know that I need to niche down. That's what everyone's telling me. And yet I was like, I don't want to niche down. I love my podcast. I love these people. I love my show. I don't want to change it. I love the idea of seeking sunshine. I love finding the positivity in the trials of life. Yeah, it's feeling kind of heavy, and I don't know what to do about that. And I don't really know who I'm talking to, but I love this core message that I have here. And so what am I supposed to do about this? Like it felt like I knew that there was an answer to this question somewhere along the line, and I was just waiting for the pieces to kind of fall into place. And so as you're going to see, as I tell you about this journey, they really did. They all fell into place. And the more that I was patient, and the more that I surrendered to the idea that it's going to come, the answer's going to come if I just wait. It did. It was so much easier when I just allowed that answer to come in its own time. And so the next, the real pivotal moment that was sort of the start of this huge transition came when I was talking to a group of friends. And you should know that I gain clarity when I'm talking out loud, usually to other people. So podcasting is exactly where I'm supposed to be, because I get clarity from talking to people. So a lot of times I'm speaking, I'll be speaking to, a group of people in person, like at Toastmasters or on stage or something. And I'll have this moment where I'm like, whoa. And you can just like almost see the light bulb in my head, like click. And it's just amazing. So I've had a lot of those moments happen over the last few weeks. So this whole transition has happened just over the last month or two, and it's been amazing to sort of like, as I step back and just like see how this has transpired. It's incredible. So the first really big piece of the puzzle happened, and I had been asking coaches and mentors, and I'm going, how do I grow my podcast? I'm not, it's just not growing like I'd been hoping it would. How do I grow it? And they're going, well, who's your audience? And I was having this dilemma. And the thing was, they kept telling me, well, hey, I know who your audience is, Karaleigh. It's really obvious. You've got 3 kids with special needs. You need to be talking to autism moms. 3 kids with autism, you should be talking to autism moms. And I had this like really visceral, cringing sensation, just like complete resistance throughout my entire body. Just like, oh, no. I just didn't want to. And I had this experience back in like February or March when somebody told me that, and it was just like, no, it's not what I want. And then it happened again this fall, and I was like, oh no, just like, no. Like I've been trying to figure out, I'm working on my speaking career, and it's like, what stages do I reach out to? Oh, you should be at autism conferences. And it was like, no, I don't. That's not the right. There's just something about it that doesn't feel right. And I couldn't figure out why. I didn't know why. And I was talking out loud with some friends about, I just don't know. I don't want to niche down. Everyone's telling me that I need to niche down to autism moms, but I don't want to niche down to autism moms because I'm tired of being put into that box. I've been put into that box for the last decade, and I'm tired of it. I don't want to be an autism mom. And I had this like clarity light bulb moment as I said those words out loud. And you might recall that I did an episode of my podcast. It was a completely random, impromptu episode. And I like kind of came on here and cried and bore my soul after that moment happened because it was so powerful for me to have this understanding of myself. Of, oh my gosh, I don't want to be an autism mom. I've been doing this for 10 years, and there's still a huge part of me that wishes my kids didn't have to struggle. There's still a huge part of me that wishes we didn't have to battle like this every single day. It's not something that just ends. It's something we have to constantly deal with. And like, oh my gosh, I'm still resisting reality. I'm still resisting my life. Oh my gosh. And now it's time for a quick break. Elevate your podcast today with a custom theme song. Are you ready to make your podcast truly unforgettable? Let your show's unique personality shine with a tailor-made theme song that sets the perfect tone. I'm Karaleigh Garrison, and I'm passionate about music and podcasts, and I'm here to craft the perfect musical introduction for your content. Why choose me? I'm a talented composer that will work closely with you to understand your podcast vibe and audience, creating a theme song that's exclusively yours. Leave a lasting impression on your listeners with a catchy and memorable tune that perfectly captures your podcast's essence. I understand the importance of deadlines. You'll receive your custom theme song in no time, ready to use in your next episode. With state-of-the-art recording and production, your theme song will sound like it's straight out of a professional studio. A unique theme song can increase listener retention, brand recognition, and overall podcast success. Don't settle for generic music. Make your podcast stand out from the crowd with a custom theme song from me. Contact me today at karaleiggarrison.com/custom-songs to discuss your vision and get started on the musical journey to your podcast greatness. And now back to the show. I'm learning how important it is that we get to know ourselves so well. And the more that you get to know yourself really, really intimately, the better human you are to the rest of the world. The better that you can understand what makes you tick. The better that you can understand where all your trauma has come from and why you do what you do. That understanding is worth its weight in gold. It's worth every dollar you spend to get it. And we've, many of us, if you're like me, you've spent a lot of dollars to get that understanding of yourself. That's what therapy and coaching is all about. Because a lot of times other people can draw it out of you and see it faster than you can see it in yourself. But that knowledge I feel like that's what we're really here on earth to learn more than anything else. To learn about ourselves, because that's what helps us to be better humans more than any other kind of knowledge. So that's what's really been happening to me over the last couple months. And that's what really this whole podcast transition is about. It's about me getting to know myself better and understanding where I was coming from before and how I can just show up more authentically as myself now. And so that's why I'm here. That's why I'm rebranding the podcast, because this is so much more me. This is so much better. This is so much more right. And I'm just so excited for it. So let's move on to the next part, because this journey is amazing. So I realized I don't want to be an autism mom. And I really had to sit in that. I had to sit in that for a while, because it felt like being broken open. It was painful to realize that. And I had to really sit with that. And that's just kind of how it goes sometimes when you start to understand yourself on a deeper level. And so I'm going, all right, what's the next step from here? How do I, if that's not right, what's next? And there's an interesting piece of this puzzle here, where I had actually started diving in to teaching autism moms. I was like, okay, everyone's telling me I should be teaching autism moms. I started joining all these groups for autism moms and started I knew it didn't feel right, but I started going there anyway, because that's what everyone was telling me. And what ends up happening when I joined all these autism mom groups, and they would post questions and I would answer them. And I was like, wow, I really have a lot to offer this group. I started talking about it in my own groups, and I was like, I really do have a lot to offer here, but it feels so heavy. It feels like trudging through sludge. Why is everyone telling me this is the path when it feels like it's not supposed to be the path? And then I had the opportunity to talk to a coach who said something to me that was just another light bulb moment. Because again, this whole journey is just a series of bam, 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 light bulb after light bulb after light bulb moments, piece after piece of my puzzle just, coming together. And I talked to her and she said, if it doesn't feel good, then it's not the right step. If that's not feeling amazing, do not do it. It won't work out. It won't work out. It won't, light you up. It won't be the right step for your journey. It'll just be heavy and awful, and it will fall flat. Don't do it. It's not the right path for you if it's not something that just feels amazing, right? And it felt like this instantaneous, just permission slip to not niche myself all the way down to only talking to autism moms, which never felt good to begin with. And it was it just literally felt like she handed me the permission slip to not do the thing that I never wanted to do. And it was so funny because this was in a group coaching call, and a bunch of other people saw this experience. And I had so many people reach out to me, and they could visibly see it on my face when she told me this, and they could just see the burden. They could literally see the weight lifted off of me when she said this to me. The sense of freedom that I felt was incredible. And it was like, oh my gosh, I don't have to do this thing that I've been telling myself is the only option. Oh, it was amazing. So it was like, okay, I don't have to niche down to only autism moms. Oh, what a relief. But now what? And so I started thinking about, what is it that I can help people with? What is it that people always ask me? Because that's one of the things that it's one of the prompts. Like, what do people always come and ask you for advice about? And I was like, people don't come and ask me for advice. But I was like, okay, every time I do an interview for somebody else's podcast, they ask me, how did you do it, Karaleigh? I talk about, my husband was disabled for a decade and I've got 3 kids with special needs, and we had the whole decade where life was really hard. And they ask me, how did you get through it? And I have been pondering that question for a really long time. And I have come to the conclusion that I made things. I'm a maker. I make things with my hands. I studied sewing and costume design in college, but actually when I first started college, I started a business making button jewelry. And I did that for a couple years. And then I've made Halloween costumes from scratch for a decade. And that was crazy, but so much fun. I've made Jolly Rancher roses. I made homemade teacher appreciation gifts. I made homemade Valentine's gifts for my kids to hand out. I had a business making weighted blankets. I had a business, tailoring wedding dresses. I had a business making tote bags. I have had so many things I've done that were making things. I mean, making home decor was also really fun. I've had so many things I've done that were making things. And in making things with my hands, I found power in my life when I felt really powerless. There's just something about making something and manipulating textiles that just brings you such a sense of accomplishment. And it's absolutely incredible. And I will totally do another episode about this later on because I'm absolutely so passionate about it. And I was like, okay, so I'm creative. How do I combine this creative side of me with, the mom side of me? And then plus I'm a singer-songwriter, and that's always a huge side of me, but I don't really want to just niche down to singer-songwriters, and I don't want to just niche down to autism moms. Maybe I could talk to the creatives. That one sounds appealing, but I kind of want all of me. I want all the parts of me to be represented in what I do. How do I get all of me to come together into one, banner? How do I do that? And so I felt like it was another piece of my puzzle that was clicking into place, but it wasn't the whole picture quite yet. And so I asked my husband, and I said, what do you think I should be doing? What do you think is my best gift that I can serve people with? And he said something that surprised me, because my husband knows me better than anybody does. And he said that I'm really passionate and I should be helping moms figure out what their passions are. And I said, oh my gosh, that's amazing. You're totally right. That's amazing. But what does that have to do with Seeking Sunshine? Because I really love the name Seeking Sunshine and I don't want to lose it. And I don't see how that fits into Seeking Sunshine. Like, I love what you said and I totally resonate with it. But I don't know how to get that to fit into Seeking Sunshine, which is my mantra and it's my album, it's my song, it's my podcast. Like, how do I get this passionate mom thing to fit into Seeking Sunshine? And I, at this point, was starting to recognize that as I was getting each piece, that when I got it, I could appreciate it and I could just let it sit and wait for the next one, because I had been watching as each piece would come. And then I was like, the next one will come. The next one will come. And I knew that like there was this light at the end of the tunnel. I was like, the answer is there. I just know that the answer is there. There's this perfect, beautiful answer. I can just feel it. It's just right on the tip of my tongue somewhere. We're just on the cusp of this beautiful, fabulous answer. And I was just waiting for it to be revealed to me. And so I got that one with the passionate mom thing, and I just waited. And it was only like a couple days later, and I was driving my daughter to her parent-teacher conferences, and it just hit me, guys. It hit me like a lightning bolt straight through my heart. And it was just it. And I knew it instantaneously. And it was literally like a light bulb that like lit up my whole body, like lit up my whole soul. And it was just literally like the lights came on. I knew instantly that this was the answer that I had been waiting for. And what came to me was, do what lights you up. Seeking sunshine, do what lights you up. And it's the light. It's do what lights you up. And it was like, oh my gosh, I've been using this phrase for so long. Back in February, I launched a coaching business, Self-Care for Burnt Out Moms. And my favorite part of that coaching business, it was like this 5-part Shine self-care coaching for burnt out moms. And one of those elements was, I think it was Nourish Your Soul was the N, and it was all about doing what lights you up and doing the thing that you're passionate about as self-care. And like, that was the only piece that I ever wanted to talk about. And whenever I would go on people's podcasts, that was the thing that I loved to talk about, was talking about how motherhood, how we don't have to lose ourselves when we become moms. We can still be the amazing, passionate, lit up people that we always were. Like, we go to high school and we go to college and we learn how to do these incredible things. And then we become moms and it's like a pillow's been put over our head and we can't remember who we are anymore. We become so sleep deprived and we serve until we can't even think straight. And it's so sad. And it's like, wait a minute, life was never supposed to be like this. And I'm so passionate about helping moms remember who they are and helping them find out that, guess what? You can do both. You can do the thing that you love to do and be an amazing mom. And I've been like trying so hard to do this forever. Like, I'm sitting here like, I've gone through this whole journey where I've been doing this. I'm like, I've got 3 kids. It's been a wild journey, but I've learned how to write my own music. I've transitioned what I thought it looked like when you were a professional singer. And now I write music from home in my basement and I write custom songs for people. And it's absolutely, completely incredible that I have found a way to do the thing I love and be home with my kids, because I love my kids and I love my family and I want to be home with them and they are my priority. But guess what? I'm also my priority, because they won't get the best of me if I don't give myself some self-care and love. If I don't do the things that light me up, I cannot give my kids the best version of me, and they deserve the best version of me. And so I'm here to give this to the world, and it lights me up more than I can even say, which is why Seeking Sunshine, Do What Lights You Up is here. And I'm so freaking thrilled to share this and to teach this, because I have so much to say on the topic, and it's just going to be amazing. And I'm going to talk to moms who've been there before, and we're going to learn. We're going to learn that it's possible to be yourself, to be the amazing human being you are, and to also be an incredible mother. You don't have to give up who you are when you become a mom, because you are an amazing human being and an amazing mom. Together, you get to be both. So I'm so excited about this relaunch and this rebranding, and I hope that you will share this with a mom who needs to hear it, because I feel like all moms need to hear it. And we're going to talk about creativity and how motherhood demands creativity. I mean, I know that my kids have demanded creativity because they've outsmarted me every step of the way. We are all creatives, and if you need help being creative, I'm here to help you, because you're already creative. You just need somebody to bring it out of you, and your kids will. But you need someone to show you how amazing you are, because you are. So this is what it's all about. It's about confidence, because you have to know how valuable and amazing you are, not for what you do, but for who you are. You're freaking incredible. You're an amazing mom. You're an amazing, creative, valuable human being right now, just as you are. Whether you are messy, whether you have peanut butter all over your face because your kid wiped it on you, whether your hair is in a messy bun, whether you have no makeup on and you haven't slept all night, it doesn't matter. You're a rock star, and the world needs to see your light. The world needs to see how bright you shine. And you know what's even more important than that? Your kids need to see your light. They need that example. They need to grow up with a mom who is in love with her life. So let's help you learn how to love your life as a mom and as a passionate, creative woman. Love you guys. Yay, I'm so excited for this new direction of the podcast. I love Do What Lights You Up. It really, truly sets my soul on fire. So here are my favorite takeaways from the episode. These are the take-home messages, the kind of the summary, the key points that I want you to really remember. Number one, the more that I was patient and the more that I surrendered to the idea that the answers are going to come if I just wait, it did. It was so much easier when I just allowed that answer to come in its own time. Number two, I'm learning how important it is that we get to know ourselves so well. And the more that you get to know yourself really, really intimately, the better human you are to the rest of the world. The better that you can understand what makes you tick. The better that you can understand where all your trauma has come from and why you do what you do. That understanding is worth its weight in gold and every dollar you spent to get it. Number three, in making things with my hands, I found power in my life when I felt really powerless. There's just something about making things and manipulating textiles that just brings you such a sense of accomplishment, and it's absolutely incredible. Number four, it's possible to be yourself, to be the amazing human being that you are, and also to be an incredible mother. You don't have to give up who you are when you become a mom. Number five, you're already creative. You just need someone to bring it out of you. Number six, it's about confidence, because you have to know how valuable and amazing you are, not for what you do, but for who you are. Number seven, you're a rock star, and the world needs to see your light. The world needs to see how bright you shine. Oh, I love this. This really is what I was meant to do. This is really like, I finally found where I belong. I finally found my place in this world. I'm here to cheer you on in your passion projects, in your pursuit of everything that you were meant to be as a mom and a human, because you get to be your full self in motherhood and you don't have to give up who you are. And I'm so freaking passionate about that. So I wanted to remind you that you can sign up for a snippet of sunshine, which is a daily quote, which is all of those that I just read to you, all those takeaways in a gorgeous little quote that comes to your email inbox every day. So it takes you like a second to read, but then it brightens and lifts your whole day. You can sign up for that there's a link in the show notes. I also have the link for the custom songs, which is also in the show notes. And then last but not least, if you are loving what you're hearing here, and if you are feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you have a passion project and you aren't really sure what the next step to take is, you can come to me and I can help you with it. And in fact, I would love to help you with it. Do you have a vision for your future, but you're not really sure how to bridge the gap between where you're at now and your bold, audacious dreams? Because I am a completely bold, audacious dreamer. I am like way out there. I have these huge, crazy dreams, and I get it. I get being passionate and creative and wild, and I want you to know that I get it. And I want to be your cheerleader. And I want to tell you how freaking incredible your ideas are and how needed you are. I want you to know how much the world needs you. So I'm a certified passion coach, and I actually am really, really good at helping ambitious moms break through the blocks that they face when they're trying to pursue their dreams. Are you ready to stop playing small and live the life that you were born to live? Because I promise you that your dreams are within reach. You have gifts to share with the world, and I want to help you get them out of your head and onto paper or on the computer or out in like the physical making part of things, right? I want to help you make the things you were meant to make and to make an impact on the world, because it's your turn to shine. So anyways, I am doing coaching, and it's my favorite. Also singing is my favorite, but also coaching is my favorite. That's what I did. I always wanted to be a singer, and I didn't think it was possible for me to do that, because my idea of singing was that I had to be on stage every single night. And then I had kids, and I thought my dream was dead, but I couldn't like put that fire out in my soul. And then I had several coaches, not just one, but I have worked with lots of coaches, and it literally transformed my whole life. And they didn't give me confidence, but they taught me that I could have confidence, and they taught me that my dreams weren't stupid, and they taught me that it was possible to have the things I always wanted, and that maybe it just had to look a little bit different. My dreams didn't have to die. They just had to adapt a little bit to motherhood. And so that's what I want to show you. And so now, I write custom songs, and I've got a studio in my basement, and I get to do the thing that I just love to do. I love to use my voice. I love to sing. I love to do my podcast and use my voice that way. I love to talk to people and help people. And I have found a way to use my gifts and my talents to help other people. But I also get to be an awesome mom at the same time. And that's what I want to show you. I want to show you that it's possible to do the things that, are still burning in your soul. And even if you've, like me, like you tried to put that fire out a lot of times and it just won't go out. Let's rekindle that flame, because you get to be happy. You deserve to be happy. And your kids deserve a mom who's happy. So let's make that happen. So if you want to reach out, I have a link in the show notes of how you can work with me coaching. I also am offering, and maybe I should throw this in the show notes too, because I didn't do that. I will do this. I will put it in the show notes. I'm offering once a week, every Wednesday at noon Mountain Standard Time, free coaching in my Facebook group, which is called, I think it's called Do What Lights You Up. It was called Lit Up Moms, and I changed the name because apparently that was not a great name for some certain reasons that I will not say. So I changed the name of the group to Do What Lights You Up, and I'm offering free group coaching every Wednesday at noon, and you can just pop in there and raise your hand and I'll answer your questions. And yeah, every Wednesday at 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, pop on in. If you love it, then come to my website and book a call with me and let's get you some breakthroughs, because you deserve joy. And like you get to be happy right now. And you, like, here's your permission slip. Can I just hand it to you right now? Right? Here you go. Permission granted. You get to be happy today. Not if, not when, not someday, right now. You just get to be happy. So, end of story. You get to be happy. So if you're looking for some guidance and you're feeling stuck and you're not sure where to go next, reach out. I'd love to help you. Come to the Facebook group and let's help you work through it. We can figure this out. And I've got all sorts of, reviews and people I've worked with, and turns out I'm actually really good at this. So if you want some help, I would absolutely love to help you. I'm going to leave you guys with a song because, again, singing, I love it. It's my favorite. I've used music to work through a lot of my issues, a lot of my emotions, and motherhood comes with a whole lot of emotions that we get to work through. And that's another reason why I want you to find the thing that you're passionate about, because it helps you to cope with motherhood and all the hard parts of motherhood that are just, there. So love you guys. I will leave you with a song.
Knotted threads of my tangled mind, frayed edges of my life. I made a pact with the pain. Don't hold it against me. I'm learning to fight fair. I can take the hurt. I'm willing to be there. Unraveling, coming apart. Unraveling, inside out. Unraveling, now laid bare, unseen pieces of me, safe in the light. The riddle of my unfiltered soul, a puzzle to be solved. Can I find the clues inside me? Don't hold it against me. I'm learning to fight fair. I can take the hurt. I'm willing to be there. Unraveling, coming apart. Unraveling, inside out. Unraveling, now laid bare, unseen pieces of me, safe in the light. I'm learning to fight fair. I can take the hurt. I'm willing to be there. Unraveling, coming apart. Unraveling, inside out. Unraveling, now laid bare. Unseen pieces of me, safe in the light. The knotted threads of my tangled mind don't scare me anymore.